Oh no. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sahlen's Legacy. Oh, good effort.
He's wearing all the shirts ever created. It's an infinite shirt.
Oh, that's delightful. Welcome to episode 66 of Sahlen's Legacy, everybody. So Diva will not be with us tonight. She currently has a thrashed voice, so she's on vocal rest for the moment. And Lockerbie is here, but he will be here a little bit later because, you know, life happens. We're doing great.
He's a babysitter.
They're just like, he's a baby.
Your baby, just baby.
Very Ninja Turtles, two of you.
Yeah.
Babies. Thank you, Wormwood, for your wonderful sponsorship. We appreciate you very much. We use you all the time. Hey, Red One Queen made it, which means she caught up on the show. She did it.
Yay!
Oh, hey.
Speaking of, actually, before we jump into Wormwood, so anything we make tonight past 250, because we got to pay bills and rent and all that stuff. But anything beyond that, we're starting to gather up money. I've been doing extra streams as well to try and raise some money so that we can hire this Red Rum Queen to make us some delightful character art for Sahlen's Legacy. So really looking forward to that. So just so that you know that that's out in the world. But once again, back to Wormwood, one of our wonderful sponsors. You can use our code PERCEPTION at checkout to get yourself free shipping anywhere in the USA for Wormwood. They currently still have that wonderful, fabulous, oh gosh, it's so gorgeous, gaming table, modular gaming table Kickstarter that's happening right now. They're just, you know, annihilating the world with it, and I have to keep hiding money so that I don't immediately buy one. But they're wonderful, and if you have the money, you should buy one because it's great. And what's cool is whichever table you buy, you can still upgrade it in the future because they're gonna have all those parts and modular accessories to it, which is super dope. That said, we have another sponsor as well, which is Level Up Dice. If you use our link to order anything through Level Up Dice, you'll help us earn points towards redemption that we can then use to give away beautiful Level Up Dice for you. That's luxury dice, all kinds of like wonderful materials. They're getting more and more creative every time. Every time I go to the site, there's something made out of something I've never heard of, which is amazing. Then
Precious
on top of
stones
that,
and metals.
it's just stone.
And hood.
Yes. So you can interact with our show tonight in various ways. For $5, you can give any of our players a blessing. That's a D6 roll that they can apply to damage, to checks. They can cash it in for healing, really anything they want. They also make anything they're applied to immune to DM rerolls, which I will have. I still have some. Very excited. For $10, you can add to the pool of rerolls, which is for our players, or you can give a reroll to a specific player. If you hashtag that character's name, it will then belong to them. It's entirely up to you how that works, but it allows them to reroll their bad rolls, gives them like a second chance at success, which is very exciting. $15, you can give me DM rerolls, which allow me to force our players to reroll their good rolls, which is delightful in combat and other social situations where things could go horrifically wrong. For $25, this is our most popular item. This is our character drop. So you all get to describe a character of your own description, as I've said already. You can describe a character and drop them into our world. So these can be enemies, these can be allies, these can be. We've had many relatives. We've had lots of like really fun stuff from you guys. So we really like it when those characters come through and they become part of this world. They get to be part of this story, which is super cool. And then at $50. You can give any of our players DM powers for 1 full minute. They get to take over the story for 1 minute, and whatever they say goes. And that's a thing. We also have milestone markers. So at every $100, or not every $100. When I do this every time. I was like, at every 100 something happens. But at the first $100, a boss level monster drop happens. At $200, we have something called Broaden Horizons, which allows our characters to invent something new for themselves within the world that they can look forward to. These can be characters that they know, situations that now exist, places that exist, items, objects, anything, really. But it also helps kind of broaden and build out our world and start to kind of set the stage in a more complex way that we're all building this world together, and gives them that opportunity to build something for themselves, because I feel I've created a very oppressive world. And at 300, something catastrophic happens. Anything beyond that, we basically alternate good, bad, good, bad, good, bad with heightening effects as we continue to go down the line. And that's about it. Andrew will be here later, Red Rum. He'll be back. He'll be okay. He'll be all right. But in the meantime, let's introduce who's here. Let's start with you, Captain.
Oh, that's me. Hi, I'm Haley. I play Captain Aura Stone. She's a tiefling warlock rogue. For Nate. For cool.
Hey, Val. Hey, I'm Justin. I play Nitzage, a Quilier wizard with a heart beast named Hailstorm, who is a half dragon, half horse creature who just got bigger, and I can ride him now. I am currently wearing all my Hulk shirts. Every half hour, I will take one off.
Oh, man.
Why? Because
Just
Are you
make
gonna be
sure
able
you
to
keep
see any of
one
them?
on when you get to the bottom.
Probably not.
or I've just covered myself in green paint from here down.
Also possible.
Oh, that would be fun. Sorry, I just had a green screen wall creative moment. I'll paint myself out of a scene.
Whom. Nice. I am Ryan. I am playing Andre Benicio Cabe Dacor Le Duc de Monroth.
Le Duc?
Huh? Yeah.
Urta.
You keep hearing like new things, but they've always been there.
It's almost like you have 15 names and it's hard to keep track of. My mistake. I'm sorry. It's not reflected in your overlay. I don't know.
Yeah, why are you the only one without your name on there?
Yeah, what the hell, Ryan?
Is it a name on what?
The
You
Zoom.
got Ryan on there instead of
Will the
we've
whole
got.
name fit? Because that'd be fun.
It
don't
might.
know.
I don't know.
One way to find out.
Don't worry
Well,
about it.
But you can
if
call
I,
him
if I
Dot.
try to change the name of what I am, it'll actually like block out all of you guys, because of just how I have to capture Zoom.
Don't do that.
No,
Yeah,
don't do
no.
that.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
Please.
Nope,
Do
not
it.
with it.
Corey says, please do it. At some point, you should change, even if for one night. I want your whole fucking name on the overlay, like, real bad.
Fine, fine.
And like have it like curl around your box.
Say it one more time because you missed Urta, so say the whole thing.
Okay,
Whole name.
Faster.
Andre Benicio Cabe Dacor Le Duc de Monroth Urta.
That's 7 names.
You did it, bud. Well done.
Not even a royal.
My baloney has a first name.
I mean, he has a legit in there. Is he a duke of something?
Ooh,
Yeah,
little-
but Le
Monroth.
Duc just means like of Duke. It's like,
The Duke.
no, you're a Duke. You don't even know. You just,
Okay, so
put letters
I
together.
base this name off of Moulin Rouge the musical.
I'm so mad at you.
Nerd.
I hate that movie. We'll talk about it another time.
Oh my god.
I feel like that could be its own stream. What movies make Danny upset?
Shockingly, you think as often as I yell about movies that I hate more of them. There's only a few that I actually don't like,
Frozen.
and that's one of them. Oh boy, howdy. But yeah, so I did it. We did all the things. We're ready.
There, my name is
Last
on the
week.
overlay.
You did the thing. Our one. I
That's
Le Duc de Monroth Erta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duke of Monroth.
Hilarious.
Duke now?
Have
Have you always been a noble, or is this just like
Yes.
it's like when a mom calls their kid Prince or something? Like
That's not like Duke royalty. That's like Le Duke.
The
Is that-
Duke. The
As
Duke
in
of.
quacky quack.
Le Duke of Monroth.
Oh.
Bro, your royalty? Whoa.
Yeah, that's fun.
I do have a noble background as my character sheet, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well then, maybe you were all nobles, and then you took the cloth as it is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Something you should think about for broaden horizons.
Perhaps.
Mm.
Perhaps. And if you all have them now, cool. If not, we can take them whenever. Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll get there.
Yeah, I
You
got
want to do it
mine.
right now?
Oh, you got yours. Let's do it.
Yeah, something simple.
Something simple.
I want to find some cool armor for Hailstorm.
Ooh.
Do.
Is on the list.
Usually the list.
You can go, Ryan, because I don't have one.
Okay. So, mine is a little strange. I would like for Andre to become a vampire from his bite.
He's doing it. You're doing it,
It's
Peter.
okay. I got one.
All about this because there's lots of drawbacks to vampirism.
It's true. But it's also great for storytelling.
And for my broaden horizon, I would like us to find something that allows Andre as a vampire to move around in the daytime.
All right. Fine.
Set.
I got you.
Set match.
Andre, sunproofing is how I'm going to write it.
Yeah,
Sunproof.
like SPF 5000. essentially.
Yep. Oh, yeah, thank you.
Red Ribbon Queen says, even more emo. That's you, Andre.
Yeah.
We just get you some Ray-Bans, right?
You need a black umbrella all the time. Yeah.
Blade.
Dark hair
Oh.
grew 3 lengths this day.
An umbrella.
Right.
Yes.
Must be a black one. You know what? We're gonna find him a polka dotted, I don't know,
Yay.
glitter finished umbrella hat.
Bubo's when he comes back, and we'll get Star Hearts next week.
All right.
Well, story-wise, like I said, you all did it. You succeeded. You helped Naya Earway destroy the boundaries that surround the Middle Green Isle, the Quailier Isle. So basically, the island is now open for business, for trade, for travel, whatever.
Chaos is
For
reigning.
attack.
Chaos is
Attack for
reigning.
anything. But Naya's goal, and also you discovered this was also the king's goal, but he couldn't act against the guild masters, where basically they want the Green Isles to be open. They have the most knowledge, they have the most history, they have the most beautiful technology, all this stuff. Like they want to share it, but the other people who are too afraid to open themselves to the rest of the world have kept this locked down for thousands of years. And so they've only ever traded in one direction. They bring their goods to the mainland, make their money, make their trades, and then go back to the Green Isles. This will be the first time that anyone without permission will be able to go to the Green Isles of their own volition. So this is truly a new time in the history of the Green Isles. It's never been like this before. And Naya's hope is that this will continue, that the other isles will do the same and shut down their barriers. And that's also her goal, regardless of whether they want to or not. But you are no longer indebted to her. You did what she asked of you. But the last time we saw you, Nitsij and Bubo flying your heart beasts down because they're now large enough for you to ride as steeds. You're flying down to the port.
Noble steeds.
And I believe, one of you is carrying Starheart as well, right? From the Talons. Yeah, so Hailstorm has Starheart from his Talons.
Oh, I figured she
No,
could fit.
no.
Like,
No, no.
horseback. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
just
you can-
on the back?
She's riding behind me, like,
no, I think you put her in front.
oh, I did. I put her in front, so romantically
Yeah. Okay, I got that.
cutesy.
Yeah, so she's riding, and the rest of you are making your way down to the harbor. It's a beautiful morning. Honestly, it's peaceful, it's calm, the tide is quiet. The harbor itself is wide open. You see, oh shoot, let me find his name, sorry. You see Bice Walren, the same fellow who initially stopped you at the road and then ushered you into stealing goods from that cart a while back. He's the port master. And he's just going about his business, and he has the biggest grin on his face you've ever seen because it worked. Their plan worked. Naya's plan felt like it happened, and not everyone is going to know that it was them, so they can carry on as normal. And the port will actually be open. His job will actually have meaning, and he feels great about this. And your ship, the Sweetleaf 2, has arrived, as well as Captain Setzer's ship. as well as the ship of Pharaoh and the Quailem. They obtained a ship on the west coast from the Kingdom of Estrain, one of their properties. They basically they own territories kind of all over the continent of Saul. They have the west coast, they have most of the central continent, and most of the east as well. So Estrain is everywhere. So you can tell it's an Estranian ship. But they were granted that from King Stoneroot, and so it flies the flag of Estrain.
I would like to be on the dock and be there when, or if it's already docked, when the Quailem ship docks. I'd like to be there to greet it. Yeah,
so in just a beautiful moment, the second your heels hit the wood, the Sweetleaf 2 makes port, like completely tied down and everything. And as you continue to walk, Setzer's ship also slides in, and when you make it to the end of the dock, that's when the third ship, Pharaoh's ship, comes in. And basically they're throwing ropes the second you're able to make eye contact with Pharaoh.
Nitzig and Hailstorm and Starheart touch down on the docks as well. And I try and help Starheart off. It's one of those like, he's so weak. And then I go over to Aura and I go, Aura, what's the atmosphere of the port look like in the city? Are people still kind of?
It's a chill morning as far as weather is concerned. Again, there's not much of a breeze, but as far as the looks on people's faces, everyone who's at the port with you seems to be having the best day of their lives. You can see as you look further inland, you can see some, and Nitzig, you were able to more clearly eyeball who's older in the crowd from a bunch of Kwai.
Right.
You can tell a lot of elders are they look a little sour. They look a little put out. They're not willing to really wear their emotions on their sleeves, but they're not happy about the situation. But everyone who's amongst your company right now, overjoyed. These are the first new ships they've seen in generations.
Should we have any kind of? Excuse me, let me put my new glasses on.
I didn't see you there.
Yeah, I'm here now. Do we have any kind of concern, or should we have any kind of concern about having the Quailem here in the city without any kind of proper guidance? Or, I mean, most of these people here, well, some, as I look around and as I see all the kind of the disgruntled older faces, may not be as welcoming as these fine folks around us. Have any ideas?
I mean, we could have a word with the king, but I feel like the Quailem have suffered enough.
Excuse me. I agree with you. It's just, I would hate for them to have to suffer even more.
Perhaps the king can absolve them of any past.
Yeah, or something. Starheart, as I look over to her and I, can you send a message to the king asking about how to escort or how to, how do you say?
Provide protection for these
What's the word when you put people together in one, what's that?
Cohesion?
The best way to...
Reincorporate them?
Yes, reincorporate. Oh dear, I'm asking her to send this.
Like, don't worry, I got it.
Oh dear.
Maybe you should write it out for her.
Me, Starheart.
Well,
She's already talking.
So she goes through. She gets about a quarter of your message through, but the king's met her, so you assume he's able to extrapolate the information.
Okay.
She turns around and lets you know that he'll be on his way shortly.
Okay.
Perfect.
I would like to be able to meet Pharaoh when he disembarks.
Certainly. Yeah, the second you lock eyes, he waits for the gangplank to be lowered, and he walks straight down to you. I never thought I'd be able to feel these planks under my feet again, or smell this air. I thank you.
Of course. Welcome back. Welcome home.
You've
Now,
saved just me, but our entire people. We're at your service till death.
Thank you.
the king should be coming to better.
Welcome.
Yes, and the hospitality here is what our concern is mostly for your renewed home dwelling.
As you can imagine, this island is going through a lot of changes rather quickly as the walls just came down several hours ago.
Right. He looks back at the island and he takes a long moment to take all the spires in, and as the rising sun just smashes light across the entire thing, he just turns back to you and says, I have no desire to ever live here again, nor do the majority of my comrades. You can't go home to a place where they hate you and don't want you. And whether or not they find a way to make us feel forcibly welcome, we know we are not. Our time on this island has passed. But we are here to serve. I will be happy to speak with King Nilka. I've never met the boy. He was just born around the time I was banished. But our stay will be brief. We shall resupply, and we shall follow you in tow.
He's a very welcoming king.
From what I've been able to gather from him, he's very understanding.
If anyone is to be a great judge of character, I'm glad it is this company. I'll take you at your word. I shall see to my men, and
Before you go, Pharaoh. How was the trip? What kind of opposition did you come across?
We lost but few. 3 men total in our entire journey. We slaughtered about, I'd say, just under 1,000 cultists across the coast.
Oh, goodness.
And that, again, this is just the west coast. We worked our way down from the Glasslands, seeing things. It took us a while to get a ship, but I can guarantee you at least the western territories of Estrain are cleared and rid of the presence of those cultists.
I know in your letter you had concerns about Quarry. Any news?
No news of Quarry. I sent a team 2 weeks past. They should have reached there recently, but I've not heard word. And that is not uncertain. They knew it was a death mission the second they decided to scale the walls. I suppose it is true what they say. Anyone who does scale the walls never does return. But I don't know. My concerns of Quarry are simply no one knows what goes on behind those walls.
Right.
The 17 stories high. No one can see in. Not even from the mountains. No device can see that far. And they're a proud kingdom of humans. They've been there for thousands of years. Rimtown, though welcoming and warm, is secretive at best. I know next to nothing of their culture. I know they are truly called the Gala, but other than that, I know nothing.
Right.
I sensed a presence in that direction, a dark presence, but whether it is cultist, demon, dark magic, I tell you.
When you say that you are with us till death, I think we should talk about what our plans are before you make that decision.
Your people were just freed. I do not wish them to be doomed once more. We are.
Stone, Mr. Olsep, I appreciate your concern. Please understand, we have spent the last, some of us, thousands of years trapped in the north. Death does not frighten us any longer. It never has, truly, but we had the means to survive, so we did. We're breathing free air now because of you. And even if our last breath comes a week from now, this has been the sweetest moment of the last several centuries for most of us. Now, I'm not saying we're happy to walk into a death wish, but we will, for you.
That's too kind of you. I know how much that means. Thank you.
Mr. Olsap, something I've been meaning to tell you. I used to know your family. They were very powerful, worthy wizards. No.
No. My father served in the military here. Yes, my mother was just a home wife.
Your line goes further back than that. Your family was famous for their ability, the natural ability of power.
No, that can't be right. I've been
Faster for the raid, sir.
What? What?
Table talk real quick. Yes, right? This is...
Yes, it
okay,
is.
Cool. Role playing.
Does not know that. He was not told anything about his family before his father because he wanted to keep him away from that.
Got it.
I didn't want him to become a wizard. Oh,
No.
shit.
No one told you.
I have researched. Well, I was told not to go searching. And my father's a very powerful and persuasive man.
Yes.
Well,
I believe they would try to stunt you like that.
Well,
It seems like you have more innate ability than you originally thought.
Well, I mean, I've studied, I've worked hard for what I can do.
Nature versus nurture. Sometimes it's genetics. And that's okay.
Whatever doubt was planted in your mind by your father, I highly suggest you ignore it. Suss it out of yourself.
Well, how much of my family do you know about?
Well, I once knew your grandfather, some 2,000 years ago. He was one of the most powerful sorcerers I've ever seen.
Oh! Huh.
And not to brag, but I've seen many, many powerful sorcerers. The Olsap name is known well within the Lem community, for we know the longest history of any of them. And unlike the island, he says sort of loudly to catch the attention of the scowling people, we don't rewrite our history.
I'm at a loss for words. This has been years and years, and I've never questioned my father. And just looking into our history, I just thought that they were all mean and sour like he was.
They weren't all necessarily favorable people. Your grandfather, the one I knew, was a good man, but unfortunately power tends to corrupt, and not all of your kin were steadfast in their hearts.
Yes, well, I guess that does run in the family.
As you two are talking, King Nilka, with guard in tow, arrives at the docks. Pharaoh, I have not seen you since I was a boy. You can tell he is excruciatingly uncomfortable. I mean, the king has always been, as far as you've known him in this short amount of time, he's always been fairly timid, but he's never really met anyone that his own bloodline has so directly wronged. And then he looks to the ship, also in wide-eyed shame, just... I am... Oh, Beard and a Batman, thank you for that. Beard and a Batman says, thank you for the donation, $25. And he also knows of your brother, who may still reside on this island. Insert Aura's new love interest? She's like, nah.
Or I don't need no.
Listen, you will say yes and
Yes,
if it's
and.
donated.
Yes, and.
Say that's a question mark. We could play that.
Yeah.
All right.
It's wonderful news about your family.
Yes, everything in my head is going in bewilderment right now. I can't even. I feel like I just want to go and just hit my father.
Usopp, have you visited your brother since you've been on the island?
No.
You have a brother?
Right. Yes, we don't talk like myself and the rest of my family. We don't talk. He became a soldier like my father, and and I wasn't. Besides my mother, I never came up in any kind of heartfelt conversation between my father and my brother. No, I haven't.
I understand. It seems you and your family have a lot to discuss in the future.
I'd rather not talk to them at all, but I feel like I should. I don't know.
We are here. It's a long trip otherwise.
Ew.
As you all are talking, Mitsage, you see a tall, slender, Kwai fellow, he also has a heart beast like Hailstorm, but it's sort of reverse halves. So it's more horse in the front, more dragon in the back.
That's Hailstorm.
Oh, Hailstorm is horse in the front, dragon in the back?
Oh, no, you're right.
Yeah. So the reverse. And you, Oh, hello, brother. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yes, Yanid. Simon Jackson.
Or Enad.
Enad?
I don't know.
Nitsack and Enads?
Oh, Lord.
That's what I hear.
Enad.
Hey!
Zoltaris, thank you for the raid. Very much. Welcome, new friends. Like that logo. Look at that sword.
That is super cool.
Thank you. Welcome.
Enad?
So you thought you could make it onto the Green Isles without any soldier tipping me off that you were here?
Yes.
I feel incredibly slighted.
I
think you should apologize.
I don't think maybe you're worthy of the company.
I don't think I was talking to you, tiefling.
It's okay, Aura. Brother, I'm sorry that I didn't let you and Does Father know that I'm here as well?
Well, that all depends on how the next 5 minutes go, doesn't it? Would you like to say hello to Dad?
Not in particular, no.
Good, then it sounds like you might have a few favors to do for me, no? Looks like you've got a bunch of boats. It seems like I'm due for a cruise.
We could take him on a cruise.
Oh man, if Starheart was here right now, you'd be getting an earful. A cruise, brother?
Certainly. I'll forget that you were ever here. You take me around, a couple of weeks on one of these lovely ships of yours. But you just have to make sure that my needs are met. How does that sound, brother?
I can't do that.
I'm sure we could oblige. He is your brother, after all.
And you want me to go with you?
I'm going with you. You will take care of me.
Well,
I think we could provide just the best cruise you've ever had, and we'll take very good care of you.
Excellent. He snaps his fingers, and 2 fellow soldiers have his bags with him, and they throw them at you, Aura.
I catch him. Maybe not that great. I don't have a ton of strength.
Yeah, make a strength check.
Not gonna go well. 10.
10. Yeah, so you catch them, and you're trying to fuck this guy, right? But it pulls you down a little bit, and you just kind of.
I message Aura, and I in my head I say, we can't hurt him.
Are you sure? You know what they say about international waters.
Yes,
Brother.
Oh, I can't hear this.
We are in a very dangerous time right now, and it may surprise you that I'm somebody important, and we've done a lot of things to.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm thirsty.
Well,
We've got some really good rum on board. I'll unload your things and I'll bring you a glass.
Thank you. Well, brother, you've done good for yourself. It seems like you've got a tiefling servant.
No, that's not it at all. She's Captain Aura Stone. She's one of the most. How do you say?
feared and revered.
Yes.
Pirates and captains on
Who's the short
sea.
one?
Yeah.
You. What's your name?
Andre.
Your cloak, I don't like it. Why is it black?
Matches my heart.
Well, I don't like your face. You're not being very polite. Now you should treat Nixon with more respect.
He just grabs Starheart's mouth
You're
and
not
just pinches her
Starheart.
lips
Stop it.
closed.
And I kind of, I move in and kind of put a hand on top of my brother's arm and say, there's no need for this, really.
Oh, there's no need for this. My mistake. Father!
I take his crap on board, I cross the deck of the ship, and I toss it in the ocean on the other side.
Make a stealth check?
All right.
What? There's a movie about that.
That's fantastic.
This guy.
Oops.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't think the love interest thing is gonna fly. He's such a dick.
So I take that? It just bounced and it stayed. I'm taking it.
Yeah, but let him take it.
Okay, so sleight of hand. It's a 29.
Yeah, so much for love interest.
Oh yeah, it's just like it's like a perfect swan dive of equipment. Just sounds like water splashing up
Oh
against.
my gosh. It reminds me of was it Mortal Kombat, where Johnny Cage gives all of his bags to Liu Kang. Liu Kang goes, sure, and throws it in the water.
And then I'll go get some rum for him, but I'm gonna put some bilge water. Is that a thing? Or some
Sure.
poop deck.
Exactly where to find
Fuck
all
it.
the grossest liquids on your own ship. Like,
Yep.
you can do it blind.
Huh?
Hey.
Huh? What?
Yeah.
Sahlen's legacy!
He was invisible the whole time.
Oh, what?
Ha ha ha.
So,
And
have you been?
also-
Are you caught up and you know what's going on?
Nope.
We're-
Turns out
we-
you can't do anything while watching a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Sense?
So we just met. Nitsage's brother got character dropped, and he's
Yes.
USA. So welcome to the fun.
I heard like a father and a brother thing. So
Yeah.
it's family time.
That was a mock call to your father, by the way. He's clearly not in the vicinity. He's just being a brat.
Oh, okay. No. Listen, don't call for him, or don't. It's fine. It's fine. We're all fine here now.
Good.
How are you?
Just make certain all of my needs are met, and you also have nothing to worry about, right, little brother?
Yes. Right. Nope, not. We still have some tasks, some errands to take care of while we're here, I believe. So you are more than welcome to be anywhere you like.
Fabulous. He starts walking up the deck of the Sweet Leaf too.
I walk
meet
up.
it. Now I must warn you, Hanson. This drink is pretty strong. I hope you can handle it.
Please. Thank you, however, for your kindness. Captain, my mistake. I'm gonna have him make a Constitution save. Throw.
Hell yeah.
Oh no.
Oh,
He finishes the whole thing. He locks eyes with you the entire time. And you could tell halfway through the drink, he realizes that you've tampered with it, but he still wants to prove a point. So he finishes the whole fucking cup, right? And then it's just like, his face is just covered in sweat, and it's just like,
Oh,
and he
come
just
now.
rushes to the side of the deck. You just hear splashing and retching for the next several minutes.
Walk up behind him. We gotta get you your sea legs, and I whip him on the back really hard.
He'll be there for a while. If you have other business to attend to.
I walk up to Nitsage as that all happens, and I just kind of lightly whisper to him, just say the word if you want me to cast banishment on him or something.
Oh, jeez. I want to do everything bad to him, but I just can't.
You don't have to. We'll do it for you.
Yes.
Ugh. He's going to be a pain.
Beard on a Batman. I did make those rolls. So he's a 5. So Enad is a 5. And his heart piece is actually significantly smaller. Because you have a feeling the more of a douchebag you are, the less your heart piece manages to grow. So he even though he looks a lot like reverse Hailstorm, it's like a little pony basically. It's just a little...
What's his it's freaking Farquaad. What's his heart beast's name?
Oh no.
Stormwind.
Stormwind.
Of like Hailstorm.
Sure.
Stormwind.
Sure.
Yeah, Stormwind. I like it. I'll take it. All right, so
Ultra original, guys.
the moment is once again yours.
So what do we?
I really don't have any errands to run. I just didn't know what to say.
Oh, that's fair.
Setzer comes down to greet you as well. Captain, I actually thought about abandoning you several days ago, but your pay was good. I'll receive the rest soon, I assume. However, this is the most fun I've had in years, and I would like to continue to trail you if that's all right with you.
I suppose, but you better get in on the action and not save all the fun for us.
Right. Maybe not have the short one be giving out the directions next time. I didn't quite understand her last time, so I just say put.
I did the best I could, you guys.
Oh, that's you. Hello.
Like pats her on the head. Adorable.
Honestly, I don't know how much business we have left here.
Well, King Nelka.
Yes.
Well, as you can see, here are the Quailim. I believe, I'm kind of looking at Pharaoh at the same time. I believe they don't want to stay, but I just have a concern with some of the more senior of the Quai that hopefully they don't do anything or.
Of course. I should say something. He stands up fairly tall. He turns around on the docks and he faces everyone in town who's within earshot. Lots of people are at the docks now, and a lot of people are also watching these ships arrive because this is, even though you were invited, there's one extra ship, so that's also unheard of. The fact that like their numbers aren't matched and everything, they're a little. So Setzer's ship was not given permission, but they. So yeah, they all circle up and. My friends, the curse of the Lem is no more. Banishment will no longer be the way of our people. And should any of you, he turns back to the ship full of the Lem Pharaoh's ship, who would like to return to your homes, you have my blessing and the blessing of the royal family. I understand that our wounds to you have been irreparable, centuries long. Some of you I have not seen since I was a babe, but I am not my father. And I refuse to be anymore. I will rally the other islands and we will drop the walls across all of the Green Isles and enter a new age for the Quai. And if any of you, he looks to the guild masters, have anything to say about that, you may meet me in my chambers alone. Pharaoh, if you or your men need any gear, weapons, anything, it is yours to have. Captain, he looks at Setzer. Setzer, the same for you and your men, and of course, Captain Orderstone, anything you need from us, it is yours. You have done what I did not have the bravery to do, but we are here now, and there is no going back.
Your Majesty, Naya helped us. It was her idea. We followed her plan.
He gestures you closer.
Oh.
I had a very strong feeling about this, but perhaps not something we should telegraph in public.
Yes.
Did you see her? Tell her she has my support. She can come to me at any time.
That might be a bridge that needs to be rebuilt slowly, but hopefully surely. She just wasn't, I think she's fine now, but maybe because all of this, the both of you can finally come to a compromise and.
Yeah. Thank you, Laugh Love Lindy, for the raid.
Welcome.
She is once again the DM for Chunk and Cucumber on the Call of Cthulhu game that is over at LFM Network on Twitch.
Oh, fun.
So make sure you go see that. And Lindy's just awesome. So welcome, new friends. Thanks for hanging.
Also, Bubo. We have something for the king.
Oh, we do?
We do.
What do we have? What'd you bring him?
It's yours. You brought it. It's on the ship, I think, I hope.
The statue.
Right. Did the ship make it?
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
at
the
this point, there's enough crew on the ship. So you see Rustflame leads the charge, carrying the bulk of the weight, and several other crew members are there. You can still hear Enad retching over the side of the vessel. They march this gigantic statue of Nilka down and flip it upright in front of him. Oh, well, that is... Vane, thank you!
I saved it just for you. You're welcome.
Thank you, Burgat. I appreciate it.
That's me.
I will find a place for it in my chambers, I promise you. And he sort of waves a hand, and the statue begins to go away. You also, I realize I've made a pardon for the entire Lem, but not yourself. Bubo, you are welcome on this island at any time that you wish. You have
Excellent.
safe haven here, and you have the king's blessing to do whatever is need to be done.
Anything else?
Well, he starts to look nervous all of a sudden. He's like, no. I cannot think of anything.
Perhaps a blessing? If Kubo did choose to take a bride, perhaps you could bless their marriage?
I
I mean, that'll work. I was kind of just looking for an apology, but, it's fine.
While I am not my father, I unfortunately carry many of the mistakes that he has made in his kingdom. So on behalf of my father and on behalf of myself, I apologize to you, Bubo, for the mistreatment of you at the hands of myself, my father, and my people. We did not know of the general's treachery, but that is no excuse. I do apologize.
With that, I make eye contact with Dumero, and he jumps off my back and hovers right above me, and the both of us, because I have the cloak on, we spread our wings really, really wide, and then do the deepest bow, like face to the ground. I accept your humble apology. Just like more showy than sincere, although it is sincere.
Yes, yeah, in true Bobo fashion.
Right. Just,
yeah, he draws his sword.
And kiss.
on guard! What?
So unlike, traditional knighting ceremony, there's not a shoulder. It is a flat blade against tip of skull. And he presses it down for just gently, not a lot of pressure. I would like to grant you the rank of Rakis second class. You are one rank below myself, Bubo.
Oh.
Welcome home.
Thank you, my lord.
Takes the sword and sheathes it.
I spin around on my heels and make eye contact with Nisage and just like,
He extends his hand, and another one of his guardsmen. You can tell that you've recognized him from almost every day that you've been on the island. He's been just behind the king at all times, not one of the traitor guards, and places something in his hand. And as he guides you back to your feet, Bubo, he takes the cloak that you're wearing and he slides a brooch onto it. And what you see is it's one long gilded feather. And you recognize this as a phoenix feather, crafted in gold.
TOS. Yep. Ooh, like a phoenix. It's like the hand of the king almost.
Essentially. You have less sway in political matters.
Of course.
Essentially, you are now an official advisor of the king. You're an official. Yeah. Oh, so yeah. I mean, essentially, yes.
To me, I think I have more power than I really do,
Absolutely.
And everybody's just kind of like
100%.
Great. I have to make this brooch now. Ryan, let's make it.
King,
got a 3D printer.
Yes.
Was you could you send a message for me?
Certainly.
And I pull out the. So I've had a magic orb with wizard material. I guess in it. I have no idea what it does, but I had it, and it looks super pretty. And I kind of pull it out, and I. Can you give this to my mother with a message from me?
It would be my honor.
Iram Alsup is her name, and I know my father will probably intercept it, but maybe she'll get it. But can you just tell her that I'm doing okay, and that Enad is with me, and that things are going well.
I can absolutely do this. And don't worry, your father will not intercept it. As gruff and self-motivated as he is, he still answers to me.
Ha! Thank you.
Certainly. And he sort of looks around. With that, I am afraid I must take my leave and start contact with the other islands, but thank you for coming, and thank you for setting us on a new path.
Thank you, Your Grace.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And Bubo, if you ever do marry my cousin, I would like to oversee the ceremony.
You got it, bud. Your Majesty.
He turns on his heel and he starts walking away.
Well, Bubo, that is a very handsome brooch.
I think it's Sir.
Sir Bubo,
No.
excuse me.
Sir Bubo the Great of awesome Isles of Green. It's me.
I don't remember that being part of the title.
My new
but-
brooch. I need a new portrait. Who? Are there any portrait makers? It's been a while since I've been here. And I clap my hand, like expecting somebody to show up, and like nobody does.
Yeah, there's no one around.
How good is this brooch if nobody's gonna show up? Portrait! I just start shouting. Portrait! Portrait maker!
Where are we going now?
To find the next portrait maker. I've got to have one done with this cloak and brooch.
Might be a short excursion, but I think we have something a little bit more pressing as well that we were talking about.
Oh, like what?
Well, I know that Aura mentioned wanting to go to one of the islands she's close by to.
Perhaps we should have this discussion in my quarters.
Fair enough.
Of course. And Andre, you and I. Wait, did we go over that book already?
No.
We did.
Yeah.
We need to go over that.
In detail.
We need to go over that book you have as well too.
Yes, that's another location that we need to get to.
Well, let's have a meeting and I'll tell Rustflame to start collecting supplies for our next journey.
That's fine. Yes.
All right, so we take it to my quarters and I tell Rustflame what kind of supplies we're going to be needing.
Mm-hmm. Right, Captain. And he goes and he also grabs the first mate of the other two ships, and they all leave together to get what's needed for their captains. But the captains of the other two ships, Setzer and Pharaoh, make themselves available to you if you'd like to include them in this. But if not, they also understand. They're here to follow.
Okay. Probably just us for now, and I'll lock the door on my office.
Mm-hmm.
So originally I thought we needed to locate the Solite next, but that might be a terrible idea if we do find her, because then our next stop would probably be down to hell to deal with Kelbrek, and I don't think we should be delivering her gift wrap with a bow on her head to him.
It sounds like a terrible idea.
Wait, what? Do you know where the Starlight is?
I do know where the Solite is.
Well, that's good information to know.
I
How?
Talbot and I cross-referenced where Starheart was, where her gem was pointing to, and we were able to cross-reference on the map to find her location.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So only myself and Talbot know, and he is under oath that he will not tell anyone, and I didn't want to share this information until we were clear of Elish's direct threat. Not even with you. No offense.
No. Do what you have to do. Well, I mean, what? I mean, there's so many pressing issues.
It's true.
I mean, what if the Starlight is in need, in distress? That's why the beacon's going up. Starheart, what's the beacon look like now? Does she have it? Oh, ha!
Yeah, no, Kelrek has.
Yep, sure does. But here's the thing: Kelrek has the Starlight Gem.
Yes, but last time we heard about him, he's obsessed with it deep in hell.
Right, but we shouldn't let him get strong enough to where he could use it as a map to find her.
Yeah.
Or we get the Starlight first and protect her that way.
Protect her how?
I have no idea. If he's coming back more powerful, I mean, do we have any more of those arrows, Bubo?
Oh.
Thank you, Karis. As you all are talking very serious talk, you just start hearing.
I don't think we're alone.
Quiet.
I draw the dagger.
I've got my bow pulled all the way back.
I fling open the wardrobe. Andy,
Pup.
I'm glad you're all right. What were you doing hiding in my wardrobe?
There's a really mean guy barfing off the side of the ship, so we decided to hide in here. He looked like he was gonna kick Pup, so he came in here. I'm sorry.
Oh, we would never let him kick Pup.
Oh, my brother. What are we
Maybe
gonna
just
do?
a little bit.
Brother,
Make sure he goes missing at sea.
we can't do that. My father will be furious.
No,
If he ever
maybe
found
not.
out. I mean, well,
You all are going to hell?
How much
Yes,
did you
don't-
hear?
Most of it. I
Well,
spent a
now we
lot
gotta
of it
kill
trying
him.
to keep Pup quiet, but I mean nothing.
Well, since you heard all that, time to die.
that's not
That might
necessary.
be a bit extreme, so
It's like-
Bubo.
Like when a little kid's crying, it's just like a wall of snot. That's all
Yeah.
he's right now. He's upset.
Andy, it's all right. It's all right. Now you are a pirate, are you not?
Or
That's right. Or. And pirates are very brave, aren't they? Sometimes pirates have to go to scary places, but I don't want you and Pup to have to do that because I have a different job for you and Pup. Now, there is a ship in my fleet that is full of. I was going to send him to the Quailam ship, but I don't know if that's the thing.
No ships.
Where are we going to send him?
What? Well, we can drop him off here. Maybe King Nelka can take care of him.
Yeah, the king's got better things to do, I'm sure.
I can't leave a minotaur on an island full of Kwai. He needs to be with his own people.
Well, we're not going to sail down to the islands down there. What are we going to do with him on the ship?
We're just not going to bring him with us.
But the Quailam and Captain Seltzer they're coming with us, aren't they?
I mean, it's landlocked though, so they can only go so far with us.
But we've encountered some devastating monstrosities in the water.
As I cover Andy's ears.
We saw them.
Yeah, he was part of that. He was in the water.
Do you want to stay on land with people that can feed you?
I want to stay here. Me and Pup, we like it here. Plus, if you know what they say, if a Minotaur is not on the island, they're meant to be on the sea.
Well,
I've
this
never
is-
heard that before.
Well,
You're not a Minotaur, are you?
No.
This is an island that we're on now.
It's not the Red Island.
But it's
You
close.
see a volcano back there?
No, but
You see 17-foot tall guys over there? No.
no. We have big spires and wonderful libraries and delicious food.
Or fire arrows.
I am a pirate. R.
I mean, we could just pick him up, right, and just carry him
He's
off the
very
ship.
sturdy. You could try and pick him up. I don't think I can pick him
I
up.
don't pick,
Oh, wait, I can prove I'm useful. I can prove Where are you trying to go?
Well, we're going
It's a secret.
to sail for a bit, but then we'll be on land for a bit.
Where?
yeah, where should we go? What's the closest destination if we do go to the Maw?
I pull out the map. What's the closest sea point to the Maw?
Closest sea point to the Maw will be from where you are, slightly south, mostly east. And you would want to make contact. There's a bit of a dip on the west coast, and so you'd want to enter in on that bay, because land-wise, that would get you the closest there. So it would be a short trip over the side of the mountains, the same ones you traveled northward up to get from Copper Forge up to the Steam Fangs. So you would just basically traverse those from west to east. On the other side of that is the Maw.
Don't we have something that can like teleport us very
Yes.
quickly?
I have it right here. We could get there today if we wanted to.
Because we've been there before. Does that help?
Yes. Very much so. I think.
Oh.
We need to make contact with the other group that was coming here before we leave again.
What other group that was coming here?
Jeb, others.
Weren't they traveling with the Lem?
Yeah, they will have been on that ship. They have not dismounted yet, but they traveled south. They traveled on that ship with the Lem.
Oh, okay.
Does that mean Tiny Toes is with them?
Yeah, like as you're all like meeting in secret, you're hearing, "Ah!"
Aha!
Oh, there he is. He's
Hey.
outside. There it is.
Yeah.
Jeb is my favorite. I'm glad he's still here.
Yes, as well as the other people like.
The others. All right.
Jeb is the most important. You got that right the first time, Nitsi.
Andy, you said you were helpful somehow. Do you have some abilities you haven't shared with us?
Well, it's the thing that all of us Red Isle Minotaurs are good at. It's navigation. I know how to get anywhere. I can traverse the sea. I always know where I'm facing. You should ask Rustflame more questions. He's got the same thing.
That's actually not a bad idea.
We can't get lost.
Have we brought him off on Rustflame?
No. What if we brought Rustflame? Do you think, Andy, you could traverse somewhere that you've never been before and know the direction and things like that?
I always know the direction, but if I'm not sure of where I'm going, it makes it a little bit harder, but the map helps.
Why don't you go get some... I think Rustflame is going to be bringing some supplies on board, and I requested some pastries. Why don't you go sneak one for yourself?
Okay. Come on, Papa.
And like tugs on this little like makeshift leash he's made from rope that was probably important from wherever he pulled it, but he doesn't know that.
Great.
All right, he's gone. Let's go.
All right. So what if we brought Rustflame with us, since he's got kind of like built-in navigation?
Rustflame, fine.
that's cool.
Those two, no.
No, of course not. We're not bringing a child and a puppy to hell.
Well,
Or we could. It could be hilarious.
no, the Minotaurs I think are very well versed,
Hilarious.
are very versed in the seafaring navigation. I mean, I can read a map.
Can you tell us, say for instance we're in hell and there's no sun, could you tell us which way is north?
Absolutely not. No. I thought you meant getting there.
Well, both. And then we've got to get back out. I'd like to have an exit strategy.
Well, the exit strategy is Andre's teleportation.
Can you teleport us from one plane to another?
Well, I can
Get that book.
teleport us very, very close to the maw. We jump in, and then we teleport out, or need find other means of getting back out. I have a feeling that if there's a way in, there's definitely a way out of there.
Mayhaps you should examine the book some more.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. DM, settle down.
God, is that you? Saul?
No, it's just me, Boo Boo.
Yeah.
That was Sahlen's voice.
Yo, guys.
Take that books.
Andre, while we're here, let's open that book that you have.
Yes.
There's books.
I go over
It's a
to
good one.
Aura's study and I put the book down on her desk.
Are there any pictures?
I don't think it's that kind of book, but there might be some
Ugh.
lovely
If there's
illustrations.
pictures, let me know. I want to look at them.
Yes.
Some inscriptions.
Does
Okay.
it require a lock? Like if I were to put my
medallion, my holy symbol on the book, it unlocks, or is it just free to open?
I thought it had
Sorry?
thought it had an indentation for like Andre's.
Yeah, it's heavily adorned. It so there's like multiple layers on the binding, and it does look like there is a slot for your medallion, or medallions like it at least. If you'd like to make an Arcana or a Religion check to be slightly more certain and just really rack your brain about this.
Gotcha.
Can I help with that, or
Yeah. So roll with advantage, and it's just going to help you, and you're both.
Fantastic.
Or- how are you? I have a +8 on Arcana.
I have a
Do you want me to
+5.
roll with you? I'll roll with you.
Okay. So, okay. All right.
Well, shit.
17.
10. I rolled a 2. Should have taken advantage.
I'd say Nitsuj is getting caught up in all of like the glyphs and stuff that are etched into all the gold plates that are covering this book, and like really like he's going macro, or sorry, he's going micro and you're going macro.
No, that's not important. It's more about the.
So you start to kind of glean the gist of the of the inscriptions and of those glyphs upon, like, this is probably your third or fourth time visiting this book and really looking at it.
Yeah.
And you realize, yes, your medallion needs to be there, but yes, there's also a cost to unlatch the book.
$5?
A cost.
A cost?
What does it cost? Can we give him the dog?
Like blood?
I would
Or?
also say you rolled high enough to realize that it being a portal to the plane of the dead, it would require the cost of a sacrificial life. Not necessarily sentient, such as a human, but a sacrifice must be involved in order to unlatch this book, and it is otherwise protected.
We've got a dog.
No, we're not.
The dog.
We've got a pup.
No, we're not giving my brother.
We've got a little Andy.
Boobo, we also have the ability to summon any water creature we want.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, those are cool though.
Maybe just something small.
Dogs.
But regardless, yes, this book is protected, and it requires a life to be taken.
Great. Dumero, go find something.
Right? It's like a fish or like a crab or something.
Yeah, my goal is he'll come back with like a dead mouse or something.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be alive.
Roll me a d20, Boo Boo. Tell me what you get.
Come on,
A 7.
So he's gone for a decent chunk of time, Dumeril doesn't return, but you can feel he's still on the search.
Wait for it. He's still looking. Wait for it. Wait
It's been
for it.
like 10 minutes.
I know, and they're like,
Could Dumeril
they already have like the sacrifice just waiting, and I'm like, oh wait.
Could Dumeril have made like a perception check, Danny, or what?
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. If you'd like to add his perception to the roll you got, maybe that would be a little better. Should be pretty decent as an eagle-eyed creature.
Yeah, let me see what things he has. Again, I have failed to set up his
I hate you.
sheet, so I don't have a perception on hand.
66 episodes.
Don't worry about it. I keep forgetting.
I'm afraid this.
I'm afraid. Well, it does say he has advantage on perception checks.
Yeah, because he's an owl.
Yeah.
And
That rely on hearing
Another go.
or sight.
Give it another go.
Okay.
he gets another shot.
Another shot. I'm not gonna miss my shot. Why did he roll a 9? Good lord.
Ree!
Dumeril.
He's like, you can hear him like plunking into the water. He's like trying to catch fish and stuff. And just keeps missing. He's getting used to his new size.
Yeah.
So he's not quite as like slick as he was before. So he's got to be a little more calculated in his attacks. So you have a couple more minutes to like discuss, but we'll say he's an efficient hunter. So, you spend some time maybe just like cleaning your nails or just kind of like, and eventually through the window, Dumeril bursts back in carrying like a large like I was about to say a trout. That's a freshwater fish. Fucking marlin. He's got a marlin. Why not?
Broke through the window.
Garrett says Boo has a staff that literally summons sea life. Yes, that's true.
Yep, sure does.
Oh, the trident. I forgot about the trident.
What are you?
We also have that magic fishing hook. We're such idiots. That would literally catch anything.
Just make a bird
Dumeril's
do
got
it.
it.
I feel like 7 minutes in, I'm like, give me the fishing hook. Give me the lure. Give it.
So yeah, now there's a marlin flopping on the floor. It's a little pointy snout.
Well, there you go. You're welcome.
Thank
2
you, Boobo.
hours later.
That should do it.
Good. I'm glad I could help. Let me know when we're done.
Aura, do you want to possibly slice its throat, or could I borrow a knife, maybe?
Sure. I hand him the dagger.
Thank you. I kill the fish.
Roll an attack.
Okay.
Kill the wab. Oh my gosh! If you take just as long to kill this fish,
What's your means of killing this fish? How are you approaching this?
Well, so I
it's
kind
a
of
5th level spell.
Fireball.
Shatter.
So the way I'm thinking of it is like the book is nearby, and I'm like kind of holding on to a part of the fish next to the book, and I'm just gonna like plunge the knife into its throat.
I can help. I'll hold on to the book.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. But yeah, so roll an attack.
17.
17. All right, yeah, you managed to kill the fish.
Oh, good.
I'll put up that much of a fight, but if you rolled low, it's gonna be great.
And I think also like I have to be standing on Aura's chair because like Nitsage is helping me with it. And I'm like, okay, now I'm up here.
So you managed to kill the fish.
Right.
And Medallion, current position is.
Well, I had it on my neck, so I would have had to take it off. And I imagine, like, I grab a little bit of the blood that's coming off of its body, and I rub it on the medallion, and I place it into the book.
Perfect. Look at you. Yeah. So the medallion, as soon as the blood makes contact, you give it a slight twist. It locks in. Your medallion sinks into the book. Huh. The clasp doesn't just unlock. It just kind of evaporates from existence, and the book is now yours to open.
Yeah.
Is the
medallion back on?
Yeah, you have to fight it a bit to get your medallion back. But yeah, you are able to get it back out.
Wipe it off first.
Right. Yes.
Into the clothes you're wearing. I love
When we were waiting for
It's black. You can't see
Dumerel,
it.
when we were waiting for Dumerel, and after I didn't see anything at first, and Andre did, I ignited. I'm so at a loss for words tonight. I'm so sorry. As opposed to any other night, activated my feature of the third eye, and I can read any language.
Awesome.
Okay, so that was during that. So just so I can get a better understanding of this book and not miss anything. Hopefully next time.
Yeah. Great. So between the two of you poring over this book, you realize that this does have the ability to take you either to the edge of the maw, which is the location that you know, where that sort of like cliffside temple that was not a temple was, like that, just that opening looking down into it.
Yeah.
But as you continue to flip further back, you realize that this is essentially a ticket into the underworld itself. You can
The
go
entire book.
Yes.
Like a how-to of passage.
A how-to of passage, but the book is also a necessary tool. It is a key. It is necessary for your ability to get there.
Does it talk about any kind of boundaries, arcane boundaries set up, that we have to go through to enter the plane and all that stuff, or what?
No. So actually, in remembering history of what you know about the Maw, especially Andre, you know probably the most about this. You know that the Maw is always open. Mm-hmm. There have been devout who have made their way down into that dimension by rope, never to be seen again. But people can get in with no problem. This sort of expedites the situation and makes it safer. It just grants you direct passage into the underworld. There aren't a lot of chapters as far as getting back out, but it is. You realize, the entire first chunk of the book, all it is doing is praising Clote and histories of Clote and his children and all this stuff. So there's lots of information there. But yeah, the latter parts are like, should you wish to enter his domain, utilize this book, speak the words, that kind of thing. There are ways in.
Does it? Oh, sorry. Does it mention? You said it talks about his kids. Does it mention anything about Kelrek or where he was created or birthed or?
Yes, actually, Kelrek was he was birthed out of Clote's rage. So long ago. Also, when the Maw was created, Clote had grasped for the world, and he wanted it to be his, and he tried to pull it down to the underworld with him, and this created the Maw, this horrible tear in the threshold between his domain and ours. But the rage that he felt was at the spurning that he received from Luidwin, because he had always loved that goddess. And from that pain and from that anger sprung forth Kelrek. And while Clote eventually moved past those emotions, Kelrek consistently and will always live within those moments. He is those moments embodied. He is nothing but rage and pain and lust and want and just, he's essentially a disease on legs.
And we still to create the perfect system.
But yeah, so that's mostly what you learn about Kelrek's creation.
Goodness.
Yeah, and for the most part, Clote was able to keep him under control. There's nothing in this book about Elish Basir. This book predates his sort of ascension into being the head of this cult. So basically, the way this book tells is that Clote expends a lot of energy keeping Kelrek basically cornered, keeping him in the underworld so that he doesn't wreak havoc upon the world at large. So he failed, and that this is because of Elish Basir binding him and limiting his power.
That makes sense. goodness.
Do you share all of this information?
Oh, absolutely.
We're reading out loud as we're going through. It's like, oh yes, that's
Time to kill.
We're all reading this, and all this like fish blood is filling the floor of Orca's.
I hand the fish to Dumeril and be like, "Here, you've earned this. Please eat it."
Oh, we're going to mount it.
What? No, it's making a mess.
Fine.
Hailstorm, if you want any, please partake.
He starts nibbling and tearing at it, and yeah,
Dumero gives him the side eye.
No?
he like scoots over and gives him, like the other half of the body. So,
Hailstorm's like fire on it, like warming it up.
He's cooking it. Yeah, he's cooking it first.
Yeah, because why not? This. Nope.
I don't love that you haven't mentioned a whole lot of how we get out. Andre,
yes.
could you ask your god if it would be wise to bring the Soulite with us?
Yes, I can do that.
Maybe we could have some sort of direction if we are supposed to find her first, if we're just supposed to go to the mall first.
Yes. Give me a second. I will need to pray.
Of course.
So I find a section of the room that's a little bit more dark and a little quieter, and I sit down. Claude, we're about to take a much greater journey, and we need a little bit of guidance about the first part of it. Would it be wise to find the Soulite first, before coming to you? Or should we go after Kelrick now, while he's weak?
it's quiet for a moment, and you feel a similar hum, a similar pull that you felt when you were standing at that maw. You feel a hope kind of brimming within you with the power of a god behind it. The fact that you're at this point and asking this question, you almost feel his joy, and you just hear the words, "Find the Soulite, complete your arsenal."
Understood. Right. Easy enough.
Oh,
We have to find someone first. We have to
Who?
find our Soulite.
Really?
is that all?
Well, and then we have to jump into hell, so yes, that's all.
Might as well be good to have another team member on our side.
It's true. You don't think that Clote has any ill will against the Soulite, do you?
No, it's not like that. It's... I mean, he's already in a position of power. He rules the underworld. He doesn't want more than what he has. He loves the world. Just in a different way.
Then I suppose.
Well then, where do we find this Soulite?
Well,
Aura?
For fear of anyone listening, bring out a.
Oh, I can handle this.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, you have
I bring out just a magnifying glass from my desk and the map, and I hover over Cleth's Folly.
That island isn't there anymore, right?
Correct. It was the fourth Green Isle that was sunk a very long time ago by Cleth. Or sorry, by Clote. The people of which were raised by Cleth, and they became the tieflings of this world.
Yes, it is.
well,
But
at least you
that's
knew...
No, after you.
At least we have the means of getting there and ability to go underwater.
It's true.
That is true. Huh. Goody, what dangers lie in this sunken place? Yes, of course.
I mean, could be worse. At least we have death on our side.
That sounds positive.
I mean, I guess if one of us goes down, at least we can say hello.
And we have
Thank you for helping.
And we have death on our side to help us seek life.
Yes.
That's very profound. Well, we have our heading. I think it's time to let the others know, other captains know.
I don't think they need to know what we're after, but they can know where we're headed.
Of course.
Is it, is Klutz Folly, like, on the way to where the dock would be that we need to get to the mall, or is it completely opposite direction?
Not completely opposite direction. I mean, honestly, the Green Isles are fairly small on their own. So you'd essentially just be traveling north for a chunk, and then it would be just a hard, acute angle to get back to that bay where you're going.
How
so
cute is it?
It
It won't cut a lot of time off of your journey, depending on how long it takes while you're there.
Okay.
So is it kind of like a Hawaiian island chain of...
Essentially,
Oh,
yeah. They're about that far away from each other.
Gotcha. So we literally, if we wanted to, if it was close enough, or still like above ocean, we could look out and see another island.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't see this one because
Right.
it's
Yeah.
something. But yeah, I mean, basically, yeah, it's about that far away. Like, you can see the shapes of the other Green Isles fairly easily from here as well.
Okay.
26 miles across the sea.
So should be able to get there within the day, actually. Or at
Yes.
least- yeah.
Perhaps we.
Well, we'll see. Remember the last time we tried to get here to the Green Isles, how long it took us.
I would attempt to use the teleporter, but I don't think bamfing out into the middle of the ocean will be a good idea.
Doing
we-
what?
Let's leave one of the portholes
Oh,
in. We'll take the other one with us. We'll have a quick way out if we need to.
Yeah, that way, in case any random monsters show up, we could just leave.
Yes. And hopefully have a Starlight in tow. All right. Well, I will ask Rustflame to acquire any underwater supplies.
like harpoons and such.
Perhaps. Boobo, would it benefit you to have harpoons or something like that?
I've got a trident.
That's a good point.
It's a good point. Hey, I'm sorry.
There's a couple good points, actually.
That's very funny, Andre.
I was just asking because I don't know how well your bow and arrow will work underwater. That was all.
It'll go. I don't know if does Orithil fire work underwater?
I think we did that once.
Yeah,
Ready.
it's magical.
Do we try it?
Have we tried it?
It's magical.
Yeah, I don't think but I've got the trident and I've got my staff.
That's true.
And see what happens with the staff underwater. That could be fun.
We'll have to be able to breathe underwater. Can all of us see in the dark?
Yes.
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 And I think if Andre can, then Starheart should be able to as well.
Who? Starlight? How long has it been?
Starheart.
66 episodes.
66 episodes.
Sorry, we were talking about this all night, and Starheart is definitely also in the room with us.
How long do you think we're going to be down underwater for?
Hopefully less than 24 hours. That's
Oh darn! I can only wild shape for about 2 hours, and then it wears off.
oh.
Well, that's fine. We can all still breathe underwater.
For how long?
24 hours.
Oh, well, that's cool. I like
So
that.
hopefully it doesn't take longer than that. Or if we had to, we could use the porthole, rest on the ship. Another 24 hours. Try again. I suppose we could leave the porthole if we know we're going to come back to that spot, and then just be able to pop ourselves underwater. Or use the
Is the city going to be like going into a sinkhole, like a trap, where
Like
you
a
go
sinkhole?
down and you pop
Like a
back
sink?
up, and,
Like
then,
Atlantis?
and then you'll be able to breathe?
Danny,
Are there any leviathans down there?
right?
Things that I have to know before we move on.
It's a grease trap, just like a sink. It's a grease trap, just like a sink.
Yes.
Danny, of the lore I've heard of Clef's Folly, do I know if it's like Atlantis, where it's like a cave that leads to a bubble, or is it like underwater?
It is underwater. As far as you know, there's nothing left of it. It's a place on the maps that especially like any seafaring tiefling tends to avoid. Even though it's the place where you all were created, it's also sort of a sore spot in history. It's a reminder of, the suffering that brought about your existence and all that. So it's kind of like a cursed spot. And there's like horror stories of ships going missing in that area and that sort of thing. But
Is it shaped like a triangle?
Right. But as a captain, you never lent much credence into it, but even so, you still avoided it sort of out of respect for the legends.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know anything about this in my readings?
No, it's not widely covered, and mostly it's kind of like if you've ever had like it's one of those things that to the Kwai, it is so just frankly sad that they don't enjoy speaking about the Lost Island. It's heartbreaking to most of them, so they tend not to speak of it at all. They tend to just pretend that it never happened, which is why they also ignore the tieflings, because they're a painful reminder of that time.
But they're all Kwai though, right? So tieflings were essentially they're Kwai and they got turned into tieflings.
Yeah, they were all destroyed. They were all drowned by Clote because he was so in love with Ludwin's creations. He's like, I just want to hold them. And in doing so, he dragged the entire island down, drowning all of them. Cleth, his child, in trying to undo what their father had done, decided to attempt to raise all of those dead Kwai, and the ones that were successfully raised came out as tieflings.
Yeah. Well, we'll be traveling to an area that hasn't been seen in centuries. Maybe even longer.
Maybe even longer. It's a bit of a sore spot on in the history of the tieflings, but that's where we have to go.
Well, on to the next adventure.
On to the next adventure.
So as you all are kind of wrapping up your meeting, you hear hooves on the gangplank as lots of materials and crates and such are being loaded onto the ship. You hear Rust Flame shouting orders at everyone. You can hear also the return of all of the other mates, and there are Kwai helping to load in as well.
Well, I think we might have everything we need. Unless there's anything specific underwater anyone else can think of that we might...
Is there anything on this island that I would know that we could go visit, or a shop of any sort?
You know that a lot of Kwai, there are lots of Kwai Lear specifically who have seabirds, and they make a sport sort of out of diving with their birds for hunting purposes and for sport. So you would probably want to visit their order to see if they have anything for something like that to that purpose.
Yeah, because I've spent most of my time on land.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, as you can tell, we're land people. Doomeral's like, God damn, stop that. So we don't really spend a whole lot of time in the sea, but those people over there, and these like 12 individuals or whatever are like, just pointed them out like super obvious. I believe we could visit them. I don't know what they'll have to offer. Typically, they like to dive with their beasts, with their birds.
Oh, to get some sort of aquatic equipment for Hailstorm and Doomeril.
Well, I don't know if they'll have anything for the birds, because typically their birds can just dive into the water. There might be aquatic equipment for us, because they travel with their birds, but as far as I can tell, I don't know that it'd be much help, but we can try. It's the only place worth looking before we leave.
Yes, of course. Sure.
After you, Sir Bubo.
All right, this way.
So Bubo, you lead the way to this particular area, and you see. Oh, sorry.
So as we're going, I kind of stop by Rustflame. There's a Qualia on this ship that looks similar to me. He's my brother.
Right.
Are you allowed to kind of give him a hard time?
Oh, it's one of those situations, is it?
Is he coming with us?
Absolute honor, Mr. Allsip.
Okay, but don't tell him because of me though. Just be an asshole, but have fun.
I'm gonna go challenge him to a game of butt right now.
Yes. Hazing, lots of hazing, Mr. Rustflame.
Thank you.
My absolute pleasure.
You missed that bit. The brother's coming with us.
Huh?
His brother's coming with us. You missed that part.
Oh, I did.
I was busy.
I did miss that part as well. Okay, so he's with you all, looking a little green but less vomity than before. So,
wait, he's with us.
He was gonna go play butt with Rustflame.
That's what I thought. I thought you just said he was with him. What did I miss?
She's talking to Andrew.
Yeah, she's letting me in on the secret.
He's filling Andrew in on the brother coming with us on
the journey.
With you now.
He's coming along for a sea cruise.
I know, she kind of...
Sorry.
Perfect. So as you all start to walk down, and Bubo, you're leading the way, and you kind of point to this area. It's a spire that's been hollowed out by just wave after wave for hundreds of years. It's a nice little kind of aquatic cave thing with a wooden base on the bottom, and you can tell that in the inside of that spire they've built a lot of kind of driftwood platforms and stuff. But all the Quai there, none of them have shirts. They have kind of oil slicked pants on and stuff, and they're all just kind of just slapping themselves, getting all limbered up.
Some are surfers.
Oh my god!
It's the Mariner.
There it is.
And while you're examining it, you just hear boom, and just smash as you turn around. You see Rustflame standing at this angle, and you just see two little spindly legs sticking up from the deck of the ship.
I can't. Gonna be a fun trip.
I can't laugh at that. That's
well.
Well, we're here with the weird sea dudes.
Transition.
Are any of you any gill-necked freaks? Mutations?
No, can't say that I am, friend. No, I am something of a swimmer, and if I could have gills, I'd have them. I tell you what, that would be just the greatest thing that could ever happen to me.
A quick question for you or anyone else who can hear me. How long can you all stay underwater when you dive?
Well, we've trained ourselves to hold our breaths from anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes. It's fairly impressive, if I do say so myself.
Next question. I've got to be underwater for maybe 24 hours.
Oh, right. Okay, so you're going to want something on the sort of potion lines. We could get you something, a little beverage to the thing. You're thinking of doing an outing? Could you book a tour? Are you interested in maybe taking a... No,
we've already got a tour booked. We already know the place. It's going to be great. Going to find lots of things, but it's going to be underwater. So I need your help for the underwater part.
Is that a Rackus pin?
What?
Putting on your shoulder there.
This.
Yes, sir.
This pin?
Right. Please come inside. He leads the way.
Yes, by order of His Majesty, we are here to gather things for our underwater grand glorious journey of awesomeness.
When you walk into the spire, it's got that horrible extra white coating, just because there's all these seabirds roosting on these planks above.
It's the owlery.
And when he walks in, you see this pelican with a multi-striped beak. You can tell it's like a pelican mixed with a seagull. essentially, as far as like color and shape are concerned. There's a lot of shapes going on.
Does he like ride in his mouth when he goes around?
It's not quite that big.
No.
There's like a tail sticking out of it. There's like.
That'd be awesome if like the owner just rides in his mouth and like that's how they get around. Top of him.
Right, I am so sorry for the confusion, sir.
No big deal.
Get you all set up. How many exactly do you think you need to be able to stay down for a day?
3, 4, 5.
Well, Aura,
So,
what are we at?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for sure.
7 for sure, maybe more.
7.
8 for sure.
8 for sure, maybe more.
You're forgetting Starheart.
No, I counted her.
Right.
Hailstorm and Doomerall.
Right. 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yes, I counted somebody that I don't see.
Did you count Danny?
Sure did.
Right, we can absolutely. And he walks over. He starts scaling the. It's not exactly stairs. There's just kind of like spokes sticking out every couple of feet in a spiral, and he just kind of hops from each one to each one until he gets to a cabinet, undoes the cabinet, and he just starts dropping bottles your way. And you start, each of you kind of catches one or whatever. He's a good shot, so he's able to get it to your hands pretty easily. And it's just this mucky. It just looks like just algae and death. It looks disgusting.
Worse than gillyweed, huh?
It's like got that foamy algae top. It's like those areas where like all that algae can't get out, so it just continues to foam on top of itself until it gets kind of just ganky and dark. The bottom parts there's like sediment, like solid sediment at the bottom, and then it's just kind of like thick and almost vegetal in the middle. But he gets you all. Those should get you fine for about a day.
And what do these do?
You drink them, and
Right.
then
Do I have to drink it? It looks awful.
it's pretty terrible. This is why we learn to hold our breaths for 5-10 minutes. But if this is what you need done, this is what you need to do. So you're going to want to drink that and try to keep it down. If you lose it, you're going to lose time. And I can't tell you how much because I'll never know how much you might puke out. You understand? So, just be careful that you keep it down. And then you're good for a full day.
To do what?
Well, you can breathe the water, my friend.
Well, now, Bubo, remember, we can already have the means to breathe underwater.
This could just be an extra safety net.
That's true. Do you have any equipment that'll help us move better?
Oh, certainly. All right. So he hops back down, doink, 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 all the way down. And he pulls out this big chest, slides it across the room. He unbuckles it, unlocks it, flips it open. And you see there's lots of really slick clothing similar to his. So you can tell these were they're styled after Kwai clothing. So they look like fine, or they were fine textiles at some point, but they've been just like waxed and greased and just like a really fine oilskin. You put these on, you're gonna just slip through the water quicker than air, as a matter of fact. Now we don't go out there without these. These help us just cut through that water and get to exactly where we're going.
That's great.
Okay.
Do you have anything for our heart beasts?
Yeah, unfortunately, our birds are sort of built for this sort of thing, and nobody else has ever taken us up on the offer. But I'd recommend, and he once again digs into that same chest, and he pulls out this sort of white, pasty tub. If you rub this all over their feathers, they may not be able to fly for a while. But if you grease them up with this, the water at least won't get into their down and bog them down. You'll be able to cut through the water fairly similar to my friends over here. Can't guarantee that it'll work. I haven't actually used this stuff in a while, but probably.
Well, it's a start.
Best chance to start.
The oil skins, do you have any that could fit smaller individuals
Oh, right.
and different
higher.
sized individuals?
Okay,
we have more than just Kwai.
Do you have anything in like a sparkly blue?
I
Probably not.
Unfortunately, I don't. However,
Sparkles don't matter as long as it fits.
I might have something in a mother of pearl. He like looks over and he finds like. So he finds like it's an oilskin like the rest, but like where like buckles and stuff are, there's like a little mother of pearl like adornment. So it's a little shiny, it's a little sparkly, but not level of shiny.
A child's oilskin, if you have that, will work on them.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. I've got a couple of those in the back as well. My boys have long grown up, but just can't throw anything away. You never know when the next generation is going to come around. So apparently it's no time soon. They're yours.
Sorry, Andre. With all due respect.
Oh, no, I'm very used to having to downsize my clothing.
Wear children's clothing?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, but I call the buckle.
Of course.
Well,
I'm a big kid now.
he also says, and I highly recommend if you're just going, if this is your first time sort of diving in the water in this capacity, you're going to need yourself some form of defense or offense if you get hungry. So I'm going to offer you these. And he reaches into the chest again. He gets, for each of you who are in the room, he gets you, it looks a lot like the end of it is like a barbed harpoon. But you can tell it's sort of worked into a bracer item, so you're able to kind of swim with it. It's a very slender profile, and you can tell it's wide enough so that if you used it while swimming, you'd be able to push out and use that to propel yourself. When you test the blades, they're very flexible. They're strong, but they're bendy, so it also allows you a little bit more control when you're swimming. This will help you get around just fine, and it will also, act as a bit of a weapon, defense, hunting tool, sort of anything you'd like in that capacity. So use them well. These I'd like back at some point, but currently me and the boys were all right.
Fair enough.
I tell him I'm fine, thank you. I don't need anything.
You don't need anything.
No, I'm perfectly capable of defending myself underwater.
Right, suit yourself.
Yeah, we fought underwater before. It's like one of the first episodes I've cast spells underwater.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Must be nice. I'll take one. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll
So
definitely
shows you
take one
kind of how
just
to
in case.
attach them and gives you like a quick little breather. It's like, if you're going like snowboarding for the first time, you gotta make sure you click them in twice and do the same thing. He walks you through like that whole process with these materials. So by the time you leave, you at least have a rudimentary understanding of how they work. And yeah, so it's like one for each person. Oh no, sorry, no, two for each person, and they only extend about 2 feet out. They're not super long.
Are they meant for stabbing or do they actually harpoon out?
They're meant for stabbing and slashing. So they're shaped like a flattened barbed harpoon, but it doesn't eject. It's part of this attachment.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a really cool name?
You just named them flipper rippers, but you can kind of
Flipper ripper.
Rippers.
Oh, the good old flipper rippers. I'll take 2.
Right, perfect. Well, let us know how your journey goes, and it's nice to meet you, sir.
Thanks for the help. It has been much appreciated.
Thank you so much.
Maybe put in a good word for the King Force. There's not a lot of us seabirds out here anymore, and we don't get a lot of the tax attention that we used to.
Oh, good to know.
Good Seabird. What is your name, sir?
Oh, they call me Garrett.
Garrett. I'm clearly like riding on nothing. Put it.
Do you even burn anymore? You look like you're golden. Do you have any?
You look invisible.
Oh, thank you, sir. This is a 500-year tan. I get out in the sun every single day.
Do you have anything to stop the sun from baking?
Well, no. I haven't quite figured that one out. I used to use that same stuff I gave to you for your bird, but that actually cooked me a little bit faster. If you come up with anything, you let me know. I actually enjoy my goldenness.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
And Justin, are you going to be a magic show of Hulk shirts or what?
Oh, you missed it. You missed it, Andrew. I wore all my Hulk shirts today by request of the chat before we started.
Oh, I see.
So I had this one.
They're all invisible.
Yep.
And then I wore this one.
Still half invisible. That's great.
I wore this one.
Yep, that's the one I can see.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then I got this one.
And now that's cool that you can see the words though. That's kind of cool.
They're just floating words.
Floating words.
Excellent.
All right. Well.
Well, we've got stuff. This should help.
Yeah.
I think we're all. Do we want to head out today?
Yes, I think we're fine.
Yes, everyone's feeling all right.
Yes. I'm all healthy and I'm ready to shoot my spells.
As he says I'm all healthy. Do I notice anything like the wound on his neck at all, or any kind of bodily change? Just not even trying to see anything, but do I?
Yeah, make a quick perception check. See what...
A little paler than usual.
11.
Wow. 11. It's hard to say. You've all had some pretty rough days recently, so,
right?
But you can't tell if it's your imagination or not. But Andre, while already pretty pale, looks slightly lighter in shade, and it looks like even though y'all were fairly well rested, like there's some bags under his eyes that haven't seemed to have gone away, but that could also just be from a night of bad sleep. It's hard to say. The wound itself doesn't seem to have healed too much on his neck. Like it's scabbed over, but it's still like bright red. It hasn't really darkened too much.
Right.
You're somewhere in the middle. You're suspicious, but you're not sure.
Thank you. Okay, yeah.
All right. Well, let's head back to the ship, and we'll give the other two a loose idea of what direction we're headed, just to have them as backup, and we'll go.
Awesome.
All right. Perfect. So we head back. I give Setzer and
Pharaoh.
Lanta.
Pharaoh.
Thank you. We're going to be headed north. There's an underwater excursion that we are headed to. You are not required to go underwater, but we would appreciate an escort there.
Of course, you've got it.
Captain. And they go back to their things. When you reach the Sweet Leaf 2, you realize you have more crew than you started with.
Ah.
You see Jeb, and you see the fan club. You see
Oh no.
Paragon Tiny Toes, and everyone has kind of hopped back over to the Sweet Leaf. Welcome, friends. I've missed your faces so much.
Well, hello.
He
Jeb?
also is still on his horse while on your ship.
Of course he is. That's amazing. I feel like as Starheart's walking up the gangplank, the sea breeze is catching her hair, and you just see Tiny Toes and his jaws on the floor.
Goals,
My fair maiden returns.
And then
like bows so hard his helmet cracks against the deck of the ship.
Hey guys, it's been a long time.
Hey.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Jeb.
Yeah, I saw a lot of death coming up and down. I'm just glad that's not me anymore. So,
Yeah. You look as alive as ever.
Yes. Hello, friends. Tiny Toes.
Oh, hello, everyone. Nitsich.
Oh, this new rivalry is my favorite.
As I start to hold Starheart's hand.
What is going on here? I'll be in my bunk. Stomps downstairs. Trips. You just hear clattering armor all the way down. His horse, follows after him.
Well.
Well then.
Went better than I thought it expected, actually.
Well, could have been worse.
Yes.
Could have been worse.
I've fought your other exes before.
Yeah, the 7 evil ones.
All right. I'll give the crew commands to weigh anchor and helm the ship, and
How much does it weigh?
a lot.
Okay, good. It's good anchor then.
Very heavy.
You see, Rust Flame is like bearing over your brother. It's like, hoist the sails! But like, you've never, like, Rust Flame is such like a placid personality, even in the worst of times. Like, this is the first moment where you're like, holy shit, he's a really big Minotaur. Because he's just like snarling, like he's got like.
What's my brother look like right now?
Your brother, this may be in your entire life the first time you've ever seen fear in his eyes.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah, Rust Flame, because Rust Flame's easily like a head taller than him, easily like, you know, a good foot broader than him, and he's just like laying into him.
Yeah, I snicker under my breath in like childish glee, like.
From the helm, I just yell at him, Enad, if you're going to stay, you're going to work. Keep it up.
He starts pulling ropes. Yeah, so you lead the way. Is the Sweet Leaf 2 at the front? Are they following you?
Yeah.
Perfect. It is really mostly a fairly brief and uneventful journey. You do manage to pass Quaigal, which is another one of the isles. You're far enough. You're too far from the bank, but you just see a bunch of vegetation, and it's a little bit wider than the other islands. But yeah, it takes maybe, I'm gonna say, not too long, maybe 2 hours to get to where you're going.
That's if the chat has anything to say about it.
But he said it. We already got there.
We already got
We're there. Haha, too late.
And I'll have Talbot help me figure out the best place to, I guess, park the ship out to get us kind of over, dock the ship.
Sure.
Can you dock the ship out at sea? Anyway,
Sure.
The best spot to where we could just jump out and kind of be right over where we need to be.
Sure. Yeah, you manage to avoid the other barriers that are still up of the other islands, and you find your way above, where at least your map and Talbot were able to discern, and yourself were able to discern where Cleth's Folly is. And yeah, he did tell you, it's like, if you're in this general vicinity, if you drop anchor, you'll at least make purchase, and your ship won't just float away while you're gone. So there's at least some sort of rock formation down here that you could connect to. Okay. So anchors are dropped, and you do hear that familiar like gong, echoing up the chain. Yeah.
Should I send something down first to get a idea of what's down there?
You know, we could either send your eye, or we could just drop one of the portholes down and look and see where it goes. And then just pop
And
out.
how do you get the porthole back?
We'd pop out of it.
Well,
Does it sink?
remember, we have to turn the knobs to be able to see. Well, no, that's not true. You can always see
You can always
through it.
see it.
Well, I can cast an unseen servant down there. It'll take me a little bit to kind of look around. Or yeah, I can just put the arcane eye down there and peruse a bit.
Yeah, does it work in water or does it get irritated?
It's salt water, though. That's good for your eyes.
I can assume, since it's magical, it wouldn't be affected by water. It might be a little difficult, more difficult to see, but
Well,
I mean, it's a magical eye.
while you do that, I will set up one of the portholes in my office, and then I will put the other one in his bag of holding. The daylight in a bottle that we have, is that always on, or do we have to like turn it on?
You would activate it. Like, it is.
We clap
bright
once or
currently,
twice?
but it's not. But it's not.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's not like blinding and searing like while you hold it and stuff. It's contained within the bottle. There's a magic keeping it subdued. If you were to uncork it, it would unleash.
Got it. I'm gonna affix that to my belt so it's on the outside. So if we get somewhere really dark, we have instant access to light. So I'm gonna tie that onto myself.
As everyone's making their preparations, Andre, you're starting to feel a I don't know, groggy's the word, but drained. You're just feeling a little under the weather, a little shaky. It doesn't seem to be fully affecting you currently, but just you're aware that something's a little off.
My passive perception is 14, by the way. If that, just for future reference. I don't know if anyone has any.
As you're getting ready, then as you're preparing your eye, you see Andre kind of like seeing like the sun bounce off the water. You can see Andre kind of pulling his hood a little bit lower to cover that bounce off of his eyes. If you were looking at anyone else, you would just assume they were hungover or just like maybe, coming down with something. But
right, I said we needed some sort of defense against this sunlight out here.
Yes. A little bright out here, yes.
Well, we're going underwater, so you won't be in direct sunlight. The deeper we go, I assume it'll get a little darker.
Oh yes, I'm not too worried about all that, and we've been on the ocean a few weeks before, so I'm used to this. It's been a long trip, I think I'm just a little tired.
Sure.
No, yes, absolutely. Right there.
Is that it?
At least you don't have family on ship.
He doesn't have to be here forever, just say the word.
Oh, no.
We've got a rowboat. We're not that far.
Okay, so I will go ahead and pull out a little bit of fur that I have and cast Arcane Eye and have the ball come into play. It's like a magical kind of orb crystal ball, and then put it out. It goes up. Yep.
And this one, does it have a range, or is this a similar, like you can just kind of push it wherever?
Well, I can push it. It's 30 feet per turn, but no, it does not have a range.
Okay. So, I mean, if you all are holding actions until you see what you need to see, then I'll just describe what you see. But so it takes a while for it to see really anything. You see that Talbot was not wrong. There is sort of this outcropping of underwater rock that the anchors of all three ships have managed to. It's like this kind of like raised ridge, probably from some volcanic activity a very long time ago. Just hook. You all are fine. But the water continues down for a long time, and you, as it passes, you do start to see some stone hewn by Kwai. You can recognize the craftsmanship, and you also just see large boulders that belong, above the water. Like, you can tell these used to be above ground many, probably thousands of years ago, and down even further. This is where things start to get strange. You can see that a lot of things are still intact. There are buildings still standing. You can see a sort of almost cathedral-looking building in front of which you see a massive stone soldier with a sword under each of its hands. Oh, sorry, both of his hands together. Sorry, one sword. Holding it like this. And on one side of its face is a Kwai face. And on the other side of its face is a tiefling face.
Oh, interesting.
It seems to be guarding this entrance to this cathedral sort of area. And beyond that, it seems like it has embedded itself. So there are small sort of buildings. There's some sea life swimming around. And then this building is not upright. It's sort of on this maybe 35-degree angle against the sea floor. And it is then attached to its own sort of like volcanic rock. And you can't see the back of it. It looks like it's been swallowed by this area, like larger rocks surrounding it. But you would wager that is the only entrance.
Can I get a closer look at the base of the statue? Are there any kind of glyphs? Because to me, it's weird to see a statue in the middle of the ocean that has been made both Kwai and Tiefling. If this whole island went down first, like somebody had to build this or something. So I want to get a closer look at the bottom of it to see any kind of maybe inscription or glyphs or anything like that.
Sure. So you start really scanning this statue, and you see It is bearded, which is rare for any Kwai. Only the most ancient really have much of a beard. It is armored, and as you kind of scan down, it has a leg on either side of a sort of staircase. So you'd have to go underneath it to get into an entrance. But you do see a set of doors and like a portcullis that is in front of said doors. But as far as glyphs or anything, you don't see much detail on this statue. You just see that it is there. It is clearly at least symbolic of a guardian. And yes, it is very odd. You are right that it should have both faces on it. That is not anything you've ever seen or heard of before.
Okay, so then I send it toward that staircase. And the portcullis that's there. Is it blocked off? Is it closed?
The portcullis is down, and as the eye is small enough to fit past the portcullis, and when you see the doors themselves, you do see actually there's a bit of a gap, and you see a pair of eyes looking out, and as your eye continues to go forward, you just see a slat of wood close it shut.
Now, the eye is invisible. The arcane eye is invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but that still happens, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
You relaying all this?
I will. I'm gonna push it a little. Are the doors closed?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Do I see any kind of writing on the doors at all, or anything that could?
Just adornments, no real writing, just sort of designs and etchings, and fairly general Kwai. You feel like the doors and the stonework, with the exception of the statue, are all classic ancient Kwai architecture. So probably original to the island before it sank.
So what I'm looking at, right, is the portcullis, and then the doors behind that, right, closed. But then above that is the building that is you.
Yes, and so for a sense of scale, this building is cathedral-sized. The statue, from heel to head, is about as tall as the tallest spire of said cathedral-sized building.
Goodness.
And it is standing guard of this area.
And it's built into the underwater mountain?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I can, and even if I try to find a back door, it's built into this wall.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Okay. Oh, okay. Really creepy down there.
Mm-hmm.
How creepy?
How creepy is it? Yes, of course. Well, there's a statue there that looks
like me.
Yes and no. It actually it's Kwai and Tiefling statue.
Like me with horns.
Or like you with half your face, and then a Tiefling with half its face.
Oh.
Interesting.
Right. Well, it's just a statue, so it's not that creepy.
Okay, and then there is closed doors that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I saw eyes, and then something closed, like a lookout thing. And so,
You mean like something's living down there?
Right.
Well, at least we know that we are going to say hello to someone when we come down.
I don't think my fin blades are going to be able to fight somebody.
Well, that door looked pretty impenetrable for the most part.
And whoever's down there's definitely going to have the advantage.
Now, we have a key or an entrance gift, I would say, that can get us through the pit, the maw. Do we have anything that might
interest them?
Yes.
Well, we're going after the other Saulite, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, can we use the Saulite sword that we have to gain entrance?
Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea.
It's possible.
We
that,
also have Ludwin's amulet.
Who to what?
Ludwin, our deity, Bubo, Ludwin, the creator of Akwai. I really need
Hortil.
to start paying attention.
I know the Hortil guy. He's the one that I do the staff thing with.
Yes, we know Hortil, and he has given you powers, but Ludwin is our deity who
Yeah,
we
never heard of him.
in school and worship.
Right. You're assuming I paid attention.
Right, no, I can assume. I don't have to assume that.
Vintage.
What?
What did the eyes look like? Did they look like a human's? Did they look like a tiefling's? Did they look like a kwai?
I don't know. It wasn't that clear. Did I see what kind of eyes it had?
Like if it looked like a humanoid?
I would say because you were so focused on Kwai faces and Tiefling faces, you could ascertain it was neither of those.
I was probably more concerned with the door and probably just missed what the eyes looked like. But you know what? I don't know. It didn't look like anything I'd seen before. But then again, I haven't really seen many. Well, I've seen many things, but not like.
Do we have
not like that.
any reason to believe that these people are going to be hostile towards us?
Well, it sounded to me like they slammed a door in the scrying eye's face, if it had a face.
Yes, if you came
So that
knocking
sounds pretty
and
hostile to me.
being intrusive, I would not want you there either.
So you want to swim
Also-
down there and just knock on the door and hope they open it.
Couldn't hurt.
The fact that if they did see the arcane eye, it's invisible.
Yes.
That means that they have powers down there.
And we don't have any down there.
If as you said that statue was seeming like a guardian, perhaps.
Did I say that?
Well,
It was just there.
well, you said that the way it was purchased, it was the way that Danny described it, but as you read.
As I read, yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah.
of course, yes, of course. Well,
Yes.
standing like this, but I mean, I don't.
So
It's a statue. I mean,
it would-
I know.
Yeah, I stand like that normally.
yes.
I mean, we've seen statues come alive before, so I
well, yes,
would have
yes.
passed our
Ooh,
adventures.
Bastion Prince.
Thank you for the raid.
Thank you.
Welcome,
The
guys.
raid.
Welcome. The only reason I mention that is that perhaps the Soulite isn't in any danger. Perhaps she's being protected.
So
Perhaps presenting the solid arm would be a good thing then.
we can just present Starheart. She is of miraculous powers and unknown origins, apparently.
Since when?
She levitated out of the Saulite's tomb into the snow. I don't.
That did
Just
happen,
because
yes.
you like her doesn't mean you can start believing all of her stories.
We were all there. Oh. We were all there. Weren't we? You saw her? She came up from the tomb and then
I
just.
don't know what I saw.
Thank you
Perhaps
again,
go down there.
buddy. Much appreciated.
Well, and the prophecy, the old crazy prophecy person, the
Thank
Quailet
you for
camp.
gifting that sub.
Thanks for the sub. Okay, so we go down there and we present the arm of the Starlight and say we are here to serve and protect the Starlight.
Or they're keeping the Saulite there as a prisoner.
That could be something also.
But I feel diplomacy might be our best bet first.
Oh, we can take the Starheart approach. Yes. Try to befriend it.
Sure, let's try that.
Let's try that. And if all else fails, let's see. I do have sort of like a bomb, sort of. We need to force our way in after that.
Oh, goodness.
Hopefully that's not the case.
Well, we also have the power to call upon a sea creature that might be able to just burst through the door.
That's
All right, I've got the trident. I can become a sea creature of sorts as well, by the way.
Be a whale.
That's true.
That's
That's true.
not-
Yeah, I could. Depends
Showing
on the
up to the
size
front
of the
door.
whale.
Okay.
Let's go down there with diplomacy, and if that doesn't work, we'll blow everything up and force our way in.
Okay,
Sounds
well,
like
that's
Thinking of
fine.
going down there, we're
Okay.
gonna use your little breathing thing, or we gotta use these vials?
No, I'd rather keep the vials for emergency purposes. All right, so I can do 10 aside from myself. So
I can do some too if needed.
you can.
Oh, yes, of
Oh,
course.
no, save your spells. That's quite all right.
Okay.
Okay, so I will cast water breathing.
Before you do that,
Yeah.
let's all go put on the oil skins.
Oh yes, and we'll apply the cream to Dumeril and John.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll prep the birds, we'll prep ourselves. I feel like it's like a montage. We're like putting on boots and
Zip.
But like
Oh,
it
flip.
doesn't fit, and it's like this is disgusting.
dun, dun, dun.
When I put mine on, I just so happen to look exactly like the Mariner from Waterworld. The way it's stitched together.
Nice.
Not a bad look for you, Boo Boo.
Sweet.
All right. I feel like it's like creamy, like tar we're putting on the birds to like slick back their feathers and everything. All right. Is it just us that's going? Is anyone else going?
My Hailstorm doesn't have feathers. He has
Tail.
oily dragon wings, so this might be different.
Perhaps on the horse fur to make it more water resistant,
Pretty.
like a penguin, you know.
I don't know. I'm just going to start putting it on everywhere. sorry. Do you even want to come down? You don't have to if you don't want to.
I'll let you make that decision for him, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
if the birds stay up top, will it be too much of a strain on us?
But by where Nitzig said at least that building is, as even though it is very, very deep, it won't feel as far. Like you're not like around,
No.
you're not anything like that. Like you know where each other are.
Yeah. Hailstorm's
you're
been hundreds of feet away from me at some
Yeah.
point in time.
Yeah, and
'Cause
also
I'm-
like the closer you get and the more you guys level up, the more that range sort of increases. So you guys are
Listen,
you're
why
fine.
don't you wait on deck?
Yeah, I'm gonna think. Yeah, Doomer, keep a lookout here.
All right.
I don't
Let-
want to
let's-
cover him in this slimy goo yet.
No, let us know if anything happens on here, okay? Because you know, we've been in some muck before, and things just tend to happen to our ship.
Guard the ship. From Nitzig's calculation of how long it took to get to the cathedral, could I guesstimate how many leagues that is down / how long it would take us to get down there?
Just swimming, it would easily take you about 20 minutes.
Oh,
Because you'd have to fight pressure. It is pretty deep.
I mean, we could tie something to ourselves to make us sink a little faster.
I mean, we have these suits, right? That's supposed to make us swim
Oh
fast.
yeah, actually yeah, the suits would cut that time down. So
I also I
Probably-
wander over to one of the cannons and I grab a cannonball and I kind of put it against my chest.
Thanks for the cheers, Candy's mom. Much appreciated.
Thanks. All right, so I will cast water breathing on the group.
All right. You see Jeb is kind of like walking behind you guys, and he's like taken some chains and he's wrapped it around his legs.
I'm coming too. I got nothing to lose, so let's do this.
Yeah, you're always welcome. You seem to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come along, you bag of bones.
Oh, you.
You're my favorite.
Do you need water breathing, Jeb?
I don't need breathing. I do it if you want to
They
figure
don't
out.
got lungs, so
Thought I'd ask. Amazing. I'm so glad he's coming. All right, well, is everyone ready?
Do we need more people, or is this good?
Jeb runs off the deck and cannonballs into the water.
Do we have any more oil slick suits, or was it just for us?
Just for you guys. That's all you grabbed.
That's true. We didn't. Okay.
All right.
I'd like to summon a great white shark, and I say, guys, grab on, and we can like hold on to his top fin as he can propel us down a little bit faster.
Skydiving formations. You guys are all kind of chained together.
Yeah, just like chain linked, hanging on.
Yeah.
I want a 25-footer.
Pretty quickly, as you approach, you notice something that you missed with the magical eye earlier, because you were looking specifically at the building and the statue. But underneath and at the feet of the statue, where the sword is pressed down, you see an unmistakable shape of a ship. It's a black ship that has been impaled by this giant sword of this giant statue. And as you continue to descend, you see that same sliding door that opened in the door before, that little crop. That opens, and then the door unlatches as you approach. The portcullis is still closed, and you're still too far away to get to the door. The wide door opens, and you see a human female in long white robes. And as you continue to descend, you see scattered amongst the wreckage of this black ship, you see tattered black cloth being pulled by the water. You see, corpses being bitten at. You see all these sorts of things. But as they see you approaching, she raises her hand and makes a fist. The statue's eyes flick open.
Oh dear.
The sword begins to draw from the ship with a sickening and he begins to raise his sword to his shoulder as you all approach.
I order the the shark to stop swimming.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, hold.
I let go of my cannonball.
You just
The cannonball drops and just crushes a former cultist's skull, mushing it to the ground.
See, look, we're friends.
I pull out the Sawlight's arm, and are we like floating in the water? Or are we on the ground yet?
You're not yet to the ground. If he's pulled the shark back, I would say you're maybe 80 feet from the seafloor.
Okay, we're like.
But you're about level with the door. Now the door is on like a weird angle. She's standing upright, but she's looking at you all. And the second you draw that sword, the flame ignites with this burning hot white flame under the water, creating bubbles that kind of flash with all this brilliance of the sword. And she immediately opens her fist and lowers her arm, and the sword once again pins that black ship to the ground.
Good call.
Welcome, friends, to Cleth's Folly. Raise the gate.
And that is where we will end this week.
This is so cool.
Oh man!
Oh my goodness!
Underwater peoples.
I love it. We've done like everything in this campaign. It's so cool.
Oh no! Oh,
Yay!
That's crazy.
that's so crazy. Good call. Good call.
On what?
You recommended this all like.
Yay!
Right.
I did.
Good job. Good job, pal.
So many other things going through my brain tonight.
I thought I said it, but it's fine.
Oh, you did. You sure did.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You can give Nitzaj all the credit. He probably studied up for this one anyway.
Thanks, everybody. All tips, donations, cheers, all that stuff go directly back into the studio. It allows us to give, to bring you guys more and more content. We've been creating more and more shows as time has gone on, and we really appreciate all the support and help you have. And everything goes back into rent for the studio, the electricity, internet, all that good stuff that we need. But most of all, thank you all for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for giving us something to do every Tuesday.
Yay!
Yeah.
It's our favorite thing.
It is our favorite thing.
And thanks for creating these fun characters and situations for us as well as we continue to push our way through. Character drops are lots of fun. as
my
well.
God.
All the good stuff. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night for Perception Check, which is our very silly show with our felted friends. And we've got plenty of other stuff. If you join our Discord, you can see all the shows that we've got going on. Our schedule is posted every Sunday. We do tabletop games like D&D. We also do board games. We do Andrew streams video games. He does Planet Coaster as well as that thing.
Light sim, nerd stuff.
Simulator. Very, very nerdy stuff. And we do lots of other just kind of off-the-fly stuff. We've got a couple talk shows, movie talk show, and chat time with the Felted Friends.
Painting. We have painting now. Perception Paints on
And
Monday
Perception
night.
Paints, which is our new
I love that.
We do that on Monday nights. I finally got to play along.
It's so relaxing.
It's a lot of fun. So we got lots of stuff. And as always, join the Discord if there's anything you'd like to see us try or do. We love trying new stuff. We do it all the time. So happy to have you. Hooray!
Yes, this is the last of the shirts. Anything else, it's just
Thank you for
last of
gifting
the
that
whole
sub to Rumba.
Thanks for gifting those subs.
Yeah, thanks for the gift subs, Candy's mom.
Appreciate it. Thanks for giving it. I
Candy's
also saw-
mom has got it going on.
Candy's mom, you mentioned that this was your first time seeing anybody stream D&D. Well, welcome.
Oh, sweet.
You're first. It's exciting.
That's exciting. Thank you.
no action tonight, but all story propellant.
Very roleplay-y. I was very ready for this statue to kill you guys. We'll say it's fine. You did the thing. You did the thing.
Your hair looks fabulous, Justin. Look at that.
Oh my gosh, it's getting so crazy.
It looks so good. Look at it.
As always, everyone stick around because we always pay all of your love forward. We're gonna have a raid. We're gonna raid somebody. We'll be raiding the Scabby Rooster, and they help build our fabulous tavern. Which, you know what? Since I'm here, I'm gonna show it to you.
Oh dear.
Turn it around. Show it off.
How? Oh god.
Hand shot.
Oh, look at that. That's so cool.
Yeah, look at our tavern.
Still
Oh, I miss it so much.
So much. It's so pretty.
It does
Oh, no.
exist.
Oh, well, there you did.
Oh,
Camera
well, now
got
it doesn't
unplugged.
exist anymore. Oh, we forgot to pay the bills. The lights are out.
Light bill. That's what we
Oh,
forgot.
Hooray! Anywho,
Guys.
so that's the tavern, and that's normally where we would be playing this show, but because of current stay-at-home, we're not here. And you should see it lit and beautiful and all that good stuff too.
It is lit. When it's lit.
Keep forgetting I have them. Don't let me forget I've got DM powers to use.
Oh, goodness.
Son of a.
Good gravy, man. Oh, don't forget your Broad Horizons,
Pretty
bro.
soon, so let's say our goodbyes. Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Bye, y'all.
See you later.